What's up YouTube? With Pokebank finally up and running, I'm going through a very time-consuming procedure of moving my Black 2 and White 2 Pokes. I also spent a few hours and got a couple of additional leftovers, so now I can use even very defensively oriented teams without the need to use alternative recovery methods. All of that effort isn't really paying off though, because recently I've been on a losing streak. Sometimes it's just the result of my mistakes, but other times it's nothing other than a bad luck, missing crucial attacks or getting critted. But because I didn't exactly get wrecked by anyone, as all of these battles ended up between 2-0 loss and a tie, I've decided that unlike many PokeTubers which upload only their wins, I'm gonna do the opposite. So every week you're gonna sit down, watch me lose one battle after another and enjoy it too. With that cleared up, let's get into the battle that started it all, taken a few weeks before Pokebank release, which is why there is a mix of tiers on my side, from NU to OU. I felt like using a Flareon and Aurorus on the same team, and while the first one was doing a damn good job, the later didn't do absolutely anything in any battle period. This wasted slot becomes quite an issue when facing a very good battler such as my today's opponent by the name of Edgar. We had a few battles and this was the closest one, so let's not waste any more time and get on with it. To start with, I should mention that we had another battle right before this one, and unlike me, he didn't switch up his team, so I have a little advantage by knowing his movesets, but not much, as you will see. I lead off with Mega Blastoise to prevent his Mamoswine from setting up Stealth Rocks or Rapid Spin them immediately if he decides to set them up anyway. He however leads off with Espeon, and from a previous battle I know that it's a double screener, and now I also learned that it has a Calm Mind, meaning that it's completely walled by my Hydreigon, but even without that knowledge I would deal with this thing in a very similar way. I hit him with a Mega Launcher boosted Dark Pulse for some nice early damage, and then, seeing a Calm Mind, switch to Specs Hydreigon to stop him from setting up. Because Mega Launcher gives the same boost as Stab, he probably thought that he can live one hit from me and set both of his screens up, but with Choice Specs that is not the case and he only sets up a Reflect before going down. He brings his Togekiss now, so I decide to switch to my own special wall, Flareon, because now that it finally got a Flare Blitz in its arsenal, it can not only take hits, but also strike back and utilize its great attack stat. He goes for a T-Wave on my switch, revealing that it is the most annoying para-flinching set, but I take his air slashes nicely, and surprisingly he doesn't get a single flinch and I get paralyzed only every other turn, allowing me to go for a Will-O-Wisp for a passive damage, but then, seeing that his Reflect wears off, I decide that instead of taking a risk of getting paralyzed and trying to Wish Stall him, I'm going to get one good hit off with a Flare Blitz, so that hopefully after burn damage he will go down as well. But not only he manages to survive it with negative 2 HP, but also, forgetting that this giant turkey is surprisingly fast, of all the possible things I go to Blastoise, only to be outsped and T-Wave before finishing him off. Moreover, with my Flareon gone, I have nothing else to counter his Volcarona, which will become an issue later on. He brings his Mega Pinsir, and all I know about this thing is that it outspeeds everything on my team but Slurpuff with Unburden boost, so I decide to stay in, do as much damage as I can with Water Pulse, and then bring in Slurpuff to take a hit and revenge kill him. He however does the one thing I didn't want him to, sets up a Swords Dance as I get fully paralyzed, so this turned from dangerous situation to game over for me, because now he gets to set up another SD and at +4, Slurpuff doesn't stand a chance of leaving a hit. But then, Lady Luck gives me hope of seeing another day, because I get confusion with another Water Pulse, and now it pretty much becomes a Russian roulette. Aurorus is the first one to play it, and wins. Pinsir gets annihilated with his own attack. That was a close call if I've seen one. Unfortunately, Aurorus still suffers the same fate as always, because even though I know this Greninja is a physical attacker, making it my best chance for a weakness policy set to work, but no. Power Up Punch takes me out in one hit from full. Anyone surprised? After a few battles with this thing, me neither. Slurpuff has to come in and show how it's done, because even at +1, 5 Water Shuriken hits only bring me now to just over half after a Citrus Berry, so I could even set up a Belly Drum right there, but Water Shuriken being a priority move would finish me off right after. So instead, I just go for a Play Rough, get an attack drop on the way, and since he no longer needs this thing, he just leaves it as a death fodder to gain a free switch. In comes Mamoswine, takes another play rough and revenge kills me with an Icicle Crush, but then I go back to Blastoise to do the same. But first, I take a powerful stab Earthquake to the face, which means that although my opponent is down to his Volcarona, he is in a good spot to sweep my 3 remaining pokes. After a Quiver Dance, Water Pulse does only around half, so this is when letting my Flareon die so easily bites me, but he turns out to be holding a Life Orb, so this is coming down to the wire. I go to Gorgeist just to hit him with a Shadow Sneak, and it does just enough so that as he demolishes my Hydreigon, Life Orb Recoil takes him out as well, ending the game with a draw. Good game, Edgar. I definitely got lucky with a little Parahacks on my Blastoise and Flareon, as well as confusing your Pinsir, but if anything, it only made it less one-sided and therefore entertaining to watch, so I hope you all enjoyed it, and as always, I see all of you next time.